Hey everyone, I really appreciate you being here today. We've got a story that has been at the center of national attention, one that's emotional, heartbreaking, but also filled with powerful moments of faith, forgiveness, and reflection. We're talking about the memorial service for Charlie Kirk, the founder of Turning Point USA, who tragically lost his life earlier this month. Thousands of people gathered in Glendale, Arizona, at State Farm Stadium, to honor his memory and reflect on the legacy he leaves behind. Now, whether you agreed with Charlie Kirk's politics or not, there's no denying the impact he had, especially on young conservatives across the country. At just 31 years old, he had built a national movement, and his sudden death sent shockwaves far beyond the political world. But what stood out most at his memorial wasn't just the grief. It was the message of hope, of love, and of forgiveness. And that's something that really makes us stop and think. The stadium was filled with people, friends, family, political leaders, pastors, and supporters. His wife, Erika Kirk, gave one of the most emotional speeches of the day. She talked about the unimaginable pain of losing her husband, of seeing firsthand the wound that took his life, and the heartache of raising two young children without him. But instead of focusing on anger or hate, Erika did something truly remarkable. She stood on that stage and said she forgives the man accused of killing Charlie. Imagine the strength it takes to say those words in front of thousands of people, especially in a moment of such raw grief. It makes you wonder, could you forgive someone who took away the person you loved most? Could you look at a tragedy like that and respond not with hatred, but with compassion? It's a question that goes beyond politics and touches on what it really means to be human. Before Erika spoke, she shared that the Second Lady, Vance, had given her advice on how to handle grief, to take it just 15 minutes at a time. That simple phrase really stuck with me. When life hits us hard, when we're faced with challenges that feel unbearable, sometimes all we can do is focus on the next small step. What do you think about that approach? Breaking grief down into small, manageable pieces instead of trying to take it all on at once. Several others spoke at the memorial as well. Vice President J.D. Vance described Kirk as someone who gave young people a voice and modeled what it means to be a Christian father. Pastor Rob McCoy spoke about spiritual revival, saying that while Charlie may be gone, his movement, Turning Point USA, is alive and well. And then, of course, there was former President Donald Trump. He recalled how Charlie would often persuade him to show up to events, how he was more of a giver than a taker, and how devastating it was to see some people celebrating Charlie's death online. Trump went further, promising that Charlie Kirk's work would continue and announcing that Charlie would be posthumously awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom at the White House. Now, regardless of where you fall on the political spectrum, you have to acknowledge how unusual this service was. Instead of being only about mourning, it was also about rallying, about reminding people of the values Charlie stood for: faith, courage, and the belief that young people could shape the future of this country. It wasn't just a goodbye, it was a call to keep moving forward. One of the biggest themes that kept coming up was forgiveness. Erika's choice to forgive the man who allegedly killed her husband was a moment that really defined the day. And it raises an important question. Do you believe forgiveness can heal, not just individuals, but entire communities? Or is it something that's easier said than done? Another theme was legacy. Think about it. At just 31 years old, Charlie Kirk had created something that outlived him. How many of us can say that if we left this world tomorrow, there would be thousands of people gathering to celebrate the impact we made? It challenges us to think, what are we doing with our own lives right now that will matter years from now? Are we living in a way that will leave behind something meaningful? What struck many people about this memorial was that it wasn't just about remembering what was lost, but about continuing what was started. It was about picking up the torch, keeping the mission alive, and making sure the work doesn't end with one person. That's something we can all reflect on in our own lives. When we lose someone who mattered to us, how do we carry their spirit forward? Charlie Kirk's memorial wasn't just a moment of mourning, it was a moment of clarity. A reminder that even in the darkest of times, people can choose hope over despair, love over hate, and forgiveness over anger. His family and friends showed us what it looks like to honor someone's memory by living out the values they held dear. So, As we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a few questions to think about. What does forgiveness look like in your own life? How do you want to be remembered when your time comes? And most importantly, are you living in a way right now that reflects the legacy you want to leave behind? Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If you found this video thought-provoking, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with others, and subscribe for more conversations like this. Your support really helps this community grow, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care of yourselves and the people around you.